Hello, I'm Jeff Phillips, and welcome to this week's Webisode. If you are a recently engaged bride or couple, and you are planning a wedding coming up within the next year or so, you might really be interested in today's guest. Today I have Anna. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you explain to the viewers what it is that you do?
Well, I am a wedding and event planner and designer. So basically that means I help a couple, once they get engaged, to put together their entire wedding event, ceremony, reception, and everything that leads up to that time.
Very good. So why don't you go in detail about what exactly a planner does?
Well, planners are great assets for brides and grooms because we're able to relieve a lot of the stress that you may feel when you start realizing how overwhelming a burden it is to really plan an event like this. On average, an event takes 200 hours.
Wow.
And unless you're unemployed or a stay-at-home mom or someone that can really just stay home and take care of business all the time with wedding, you really don't have time to do it. And a lot of people don't realize it until they really get stressed out. So what we do is we sit with them, we find out what it is they want. We help them develop a theme for their wedding if they want a theme. We help them with a location. The biggest thing that we can do for them is help with their budget and negotiating their contracts with vendors.
Okay. Now I know there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there,
Sure.
And there are people obviously that would hire a planner.
Right.
But what are some things, some tips, some advice you can give the viewers that might help them save money in their budget?
The DIY brides are great, and they're really fun to work with because they kind of know what they want a little bit, but everybody needs a planner. You need someone that can kind of walk beside you in the process and help you develop your ideas and present them. And one of the things that a planner is able to do is when you meet with your vendors, we're able to help negotiate your contracts. A lot of times when you're planning your wedding, you have no idea what things cost. You don't know what a videographer costs. You have no idea what a photographer costs, a good one that's going to meet all of your needs. You don't know what venues cost or flowers. So it's important to us to sit with you and develop a budget to help you understand what a realistic budget is for a wedding. Because a lot of times you may think you can spend $5,000 for a 200-person event, but then when you start really looking at the dollars and cents, you realize that's not realistic. So we kind of help bring all of that into reality of what can be accomplished.
Now, when someone puts on a wedding, there are a lot of vendors to deal with.
Yes.
How can working with a planner maybe help a bride or a couple work with these vendors and save money?
That's a great question. Now, a lot of vendors that I work with, they know they're on my preferred list. I've been doing this a long time, so I have a lot of vendors that I work with that I trust and are reliable, which is huge in this business. Because you never want to come to your wedding and not have a wedding cake show up. You don't want to not have a pastor. So I have certain vendors that I work with continuously just because they're good for my clients. And I always try to match vendors to the personality of the client. I think that's really important because they have to mesh well, they have to work well together. So those vendors that I'm continuously using know that when Anna comes to them with a bride, that's not going to be the only bride I'm going to bring to them. And they know that all of my clients meet with 3 vendors in the same category. So they better compete for the best price because I've already matched them by personality. So now they have to really bring it with their prices.
Wow, that could be very helpful.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what about location? How important is that, and what are some things that you suggest when someone's picking a location?
Location is huge to planning a wedding because once you develop your theme and you decide you want this fairy tale rustic charm barn style wedding, well, automatically you know the hotels are out. So now we have to start focusing on venues that have either a barn or some type of outdoor location that would really fit your theme. And once we get the venue chosen, then you're able to find what dress is going to go with the venue. Everything just kind of falls into place once you figure out where exactly your venue is going to be.
Okay. Now, what if a bride comes to you and they live in the middle of Raleigh, but they want to have like a beach theme?
Oh, those are the best ones because those are the themes that really you get into because the brides typically want to participate as well. But I've had events where we have physically brought in sand to create the beach in certain locations at the event. We've created piers wrapped with rope. We've made a john boat into a bar. So there's a lot of ways that you can get that same coastal feel. It just depends on what you want, what your budget is, and how we can work it into the venue.
Okay. Now the last question I have for you, what do you think the most important or the biggest benefit that a planner gives to a bride?
I think peace of mind. Once a bride comes to me and we talk and they realize that I'm now going to take the phone calls from the vendors or from anyone who may have questions or issues that come up, they're not going to be getting those phone calls. So much happens behind the scenes of a wedding that the bride never ever hears about. Stuff that could really, push somebody over the edge. But as a professional planner, my job is to deal with those problems or issues and make sure that everything goes smoothly and the bride never even knows there was a problem.
Yeah, I can even say, being a vendor at several weddings myself, when I work with a planner, it is much more efficient for me as a videographer, and I think for every other vendor as well.
Well, absolutely, because part of our process is we build the schedule for the day. And you're going to get a schedule, the DJ is going to get a schedule, the pastor, all the bridal party will have the same schedule. And then you and I at the reception will really work together to say, hey, Jeff, in 10 minutes, we're going to throw the bouquet. So you're not caught off guard and just kind of all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, why is the bride in the middle of the floor? We take care of all of those little things that people never really think about. We show them how to cut the cake, when to cut the cake, when to do the toast. That's what a good planner does, a good professional planner.
Yes, well, I love it when I see a planner at an event. It makes my job so much easier. But if a bride or a couple is interested in utilizing your services, where can they go?
Absolutely. You can go to my website. It's KathyAnnaDesigns.com, or shoot me an email, Kathy@KathyAnnaDesigns.com.
Great. Thanks for coming in today, Kathy.
Thanks, Jeff.
All righty.